All right. Well, welcome to Starting 101. Um, Today we are talking about decision making. Hi, I'm JP from JP Adams Online. You can follow me here on Facebook or on YouTube, JP Adams Online. And this is a live streaming series talking about the process of basically taking an idea and trying to work that all the way to a full fledged profitable business and showing every step of the way and the thoughts that I'm grappling with along the way. So today I figured I'd talk about decisions, the decisions we're making, the decisions we're not making, the good decisions, the bad decisions, and so on. And the reason I decided to talk about this is because I've been actually waffling on something. And, I think if you've been following these at all, you've seen that I've kind of gone through the process of all right, I've done all these things. Like I wrote a book and I got these two SaaS products, but I really don't feel like I have a business because there isn't a system that is pulling all that stuff together in a way that's profitable. And so I figured, what is kind of causing me to go back and forth on these ideas. And so the more I think about it, the more I realize that I think this is where a lot of other people get stuck. And this is actually where I'm getting stuck right now because I kind of thought about it, shifting back everything and going back to just focusing on who I want to serve and who I care about and essentially who gives me energy to hang around them. I realized that now that I know the who, it's kind of okay, what do you do for them? And this is something that typically would be easy if you just go and you research and you find out, or if you're already in the conversation and you find out, all right, well, people are coming to me and saying they need this or they need that. But I'm not in the conversation enough and I'm a little bit far removed from, you know, the stage of, you know, how makers are feeling in their day to day as far as how they're dealing with their passion projects or how they're feeling about, what, how do I turn this idea into a business? Because I don't have it in their own words. I know how I feel. And right now, how I feel is kind of I like making things and I just want to make things, but I really need to make some choices on, you know, what am I going to make for who, which I've already done. So now it's just getting sure about what's the key next step. And so if you think about it, it's like with any business, really, there's always only one major decision to make. And that major decision is kind of what's my blocker and what do I need to do to unblock it? Now, the reason why that's the only key decision that you have to make is that there are a million other decisions. And there's such a thing as decision fatigue, and there's decision making frameworks and everything else. But really, if you focus on anything else other than what is blocking you right now and what do you need to do to unblock that, then you can get yourself going down a million different paths. Now, of course, to get to that point where you're making that decision and you know when it's the right one, you have to absolutely look at where you're trying to go, know what your vision is, and then walk your way back from that. And so that's kind of what I was looking at is, you know, where am I trying to go really? And I'm honestly, it's really building out and forming out a good business. Now, what's the mission? The mission is to enable creatives to be able to be productive in bringing about their ideas. It's really, that's my passion. It's kind of you have an idea, how do you make it happen? So taking that idea and saying, okay, if I know that that's my mission, I know the end vision is to be able to have something where anyone that comes in and interacts with whatever product I'm making, whatever service I'm offering, whatever app I have built is able to move their vision one step closer to reality, then I'm succeeding in that mission. So it's kind of making that decision then means that I have to look back and say, at where I'm at right now, what's the next step, right? Making content and putting out there doesn't make a business. I think a lot of people post on, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, but there isn't really a plan behind that. And, I was sitting thinking about that and it's well, you have to be able to make sure that all these things are constrained within the boundaries of what a business is. And a business is just, and I think I've covered this before, but a business is just like five things, right? You create some kind of value, you attract attention to that value, you get those people to actually pay you for it, and then you deliver what they paid for, and then you basically put that in some kind of process or cycle that keeps it going. So if you're not doing that and all your decisions are not being confined by that one idea, then you're not really running a business. And posting should be measurable, right? Because the purpose of posting is it's called social media, but if you're just on social media, you're either trying to connect with people, which is you're trying to engage with them and get them to know you so that hopefully they will become aware of what solution you're offering so that they might buy it. Or, and I mean, that works whether you have a business or not, because you know what, when people post up cool pictures of themselves, guess what? The point is that they're trying to put forth some kind of image, some kind of branding, if you get really specific about it. Or you're trying to share with, if you're sharing with family and friends and things of that nature, then it's like you're still sharing something. In that case, you're entertaining or you're connecting or whatever, and that's still something that's valuable. So figuring out where you are and then making that decision, because honestly, it's like there's three ways you can approach a decision, right? You can make that decision with your gut, you can make that decision with your biases, or you can make a decision with data. But the fastest data at this stage that I'm at is something working or not. And to be able to see if something is working or not, because the first part of any business is delivering value, you have to actually define what that value is. So that's where I've been stuck, and that's the decision that I had to make, is what is the form of value that I want to put out there. So as you're starting to think about what is your thing, either you're going to go research and find that value, or you're going to know enough about the space or the market to decide what's the type of value you're trying to put out there. And then you go forward with that, because ultimately it's about decision making, and indecision is a decision too. So if you have ideas and you're feeling like you're stuck, well, make a decision. Are you going to do something about it or not? If you're not going to do something, then let it go. Like, don't even think about it. Are you moving forward, but you're not actually like consistently putting something out? Then make a decision. You're either going to be consistent with it or not. Either way, it's a decision. But even if you're not deciding to do something, that in itself is a decision as well. So ultimately today, I just kind of wanted to come and talk about this space where I knew that I was waffling back and forth on what is the form of value that I'm going to be delivering. And I think as I look at it around, in finding ways to kind of like see what's going to help my people the most. And that's basically my people being adults, meaning people with responsibilities that have, jobs, families, and so on, and they're trying to be productive and still making their goals happen. Then for those people, the fastest way to help them is to kind of like impart the things that are working or the things that have worked. And the easiest way to do that is with information or tools, or actually like guiding them through it so that they can build information or tools for themselves. So that's pretty much it. I think that's about it on decision making. And I think lots of humming and humming on this one today. But I feel like that's the thing that you have to think about. Consider for yourself, whatever stage you're at, in the framework of a business, where you have to create something of value, where you have to get people to know about that thing, and then actually get them to buy it and deliver it to them. What stage of that process are you at? Which one should you be focused on, and what decisions do you have to make about it? All right, that's it on starting 101 today. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you.